There is no worse feeling than knowing that you are the reason that your team failed.
Has a man open in the end zone, caught, touchdown, drop! Bless his heart, he's got to be the sickest man in America.
One thing all 32 teams have in common, they each have that one player whose all-time screw-up cost them a chance to win a Super Bowl. How about we dive into every NFL team's one player who's most responsible for costing them a Super Bowl title? Arizona Cardinals, Aaron Francisco. Francisco is the one who gave up a 40-yard reception to Santonio Holmes late in Super Bowl 43, having slipped in coverage before chasing him down. 2 plays later, Francisco allowed Holmes to perform the iconic Tampa toe tap game-winning touchdown score. Atlanta Falcons, Jake Matthews. For all the mistakes the Falcons made in their Super Bowl 51 collapse against the Falcons, they were one non-boneheaded play away from sealing the deal and avoiding historic embarrassment. Up by 8 with less than 4 minutes to go, Matt Ryan got Atlanta in field goal range by completing a 9-yard pass to Mohamed Sanu. This was called back because of a Jake Matthews holding call, which ultimately took the Falcons out of field goal range. Baltimore Ravens, Joe Flacco. It's weird knocking on playoff Joe Flacco, but he really chose the worst possible time for one of the worst outings of his career, that being in the 2008 AFC Championship game. Baltimore's rookie QB imploded with 3 interceptions, including a game-sealing 40-yard pick 6 to Troy Polamalu. That just kind of gift-wrapped Pittsburgh a 23-14 victory. Buffalo Bills, Scott Norwood. If Norwood didn't miss that 47-yard field goal, at worst, they would have been 1-3, and the franchise wouldn't spend the next 3 decades plus in never-ending heartbreak. Carolina Panthers, Mike Remmers. Remmers had the difficult task of going up against Von Miller in Super Bowl 50. Remmers may as well have taken the night off because, well, he allowed 7 hurries and 3 sacks on the day. The first sack was a strip sack on Cam Newton that the Broncos recovered in the end zone for 6 en route to a 24-10 victory.
Here it comes. Mike Remmers just can't get there fast enough.
Chicago Bears, Rex Grossman. Grossman played a big role in handing Peyton Manning his first ring back in Super Bowl 41. Grossman threw 2 interceptions, including a game-changing pick 6 in the 4th quarter, and lost 1 fumble. The Bears lost 29-17 in that rain-filled affair in Miami. Cincinnati Bengals, Eli Apple. In another classic case of a player talking the talk but unable to walk the walk, Apple gave up 2 touchdowns in the Bengals' gut-wrenching Super Bowl 56 loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Keep talking, Eli. Cleveland Browns, Ernest Biner. The Browns were trailing the Denver Broncos by a touchdown with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining and inside the 10-yard line in the 1987 AFC Championship game, who ended up fumbling the ball right near the goal line. The Broncos recovered and melted the clock to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, while the Browns had to watch it from home.
So I get ready to run over Lily. I pull the ball in, get ready to lower my shoulder so I can run over Lily. Fumble. How do you heal from that?
Dallas Cowboys, Jackie Smith. The Cowboys trailed Terry Bradshaw's Steelers by a touchdown late in the 3rd quarter of Super Bowl 13. Roger Staubach found a wide open Smith in the end zone for what should have been the game-tying score, but the 5-time Pro Bowler dropped it. Dallas had to settle for a field goal, and they wound up losing 35-31. Denver Broncos, Raheem Moore. With less than 40 seconds to go, Ravens QB Joe Flacco heaved a desperate pass downfield to Jacoby Jones in double coverage. Broncos safety Raheem Moore tried making a play on the ball, and Jones got behind him to catch the ball for a crowd-silencing 6. Detroit Lions, Josh Reynolds. Leading by 14 in the 3rd quarter of the 2023 NFC Championship game, Dan Campbell bypassed a field goal and called for the Lions to attempt a 4th and 2 conversion in San Fran territory. Jared Goff threw a perfect pass to Reynolds that was dropped, giving the 49ers new life. After the 49ers tied it up in the 3rd, Goff found a wide-open Reynolds on 3rd and 9, only for Reynolds to again drop it. Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre. Favre had just won his 3rd consecutive NFL MVP award and led the Packers to a 2nd straight Super Bowl appearance in the 1997 season. Favre picked a pretty bad day to implode, to say the very least. He threw a careless first-quarter interception that the Broncos turned into 7 points. Soon after that, Favre was strip-sacked by Neil Smith in the 2nd quarter, which led to 3 points for the Broncos. Favre got one last chance to save the Packers when he got the ball with 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining, down by 7. He then turned the ball over on downs after several awful throws, allowing the Broncos to secure their very first championship. Houston Texans, Brock Osweiler. Despite Osweiler's horrible play all season long, the Texans won the AFC South Division title thanks to an elite defense and playmaking weapons DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Miller. Just consider that they forced 3 turnovers off the high-powered Patriots and sacked Tom Brady twice, only to lose 34-16. Osweiler's 3 interceptions and 3 sacks can take all the blame here. Indianapolis Colts, Hank Baskett. Baskett was the one who botched the New Orleans Saints' surprise onside kick attempt at the start of the second half in Super Bowl 44. If Baskett corralled it, the Colts would have had a short field and the chance to go up double digits with MVP Manning at the helm. Jacksonville Jaguars, A.J. Boye. Boye, a star in the 2017 Jaguars secondary, simply failed to show up in the team's AFC title game against the Patriots. Jacksonville's stud shutdown corner allowed 4 catches for 58 yards per PFF and committed a 32-yard pass interference penalty that led to the Pats' first touchdown drive of the game. Kansas City Chiefs, D. Ford. I mean, what else is there to say here? Ford's careless offside penalty nullified Charvarius Ward's game-sealing interception off of Tom Brady late in the 2018 AFC Championship game against the Patriots. Las Vegas Raiders, Rich Gannon. Gannon won 2002 league MVP honors and guided the Raiders to a Super Bowl 37 appearance, where they met old friend John Gruden and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But man, did Gannon ever pick a bad day to self-destruct. He threw 5 interceptions and a ridiculous 3 pick-sixes while taking 5 sacks. Los Angeles Chargers, Dan Fouts. The 1981 AFC Championship game is commonly known as the Freezer Bowl due to the ice-cold conditions of the game, just a brisk 9 degrees below zero at kickoff. Sadly, the game itself was far from a classic because Bolts QB Dan Fouts went into blow-up mode. He had 2 awful interceptions deep in Bengals territory and took 2 sacks, completing only 15 passes for 185 yards in a 27-7 blowout loss to the Bengals. Los Angeles Rams, Jared Goff. The Rams defense somehow held Tom Brady and the Pats offense to 13 points in Super Bowl 53, yet they still lost by double digits. That was largely due to Goff unraveling on the grand stage. He failed to spot open receivers, missed a wide-open Brandon Cooks for a TD, and took too many careless sacks. Miami Dolphins, Bob Greasy. The Dolphins were a big underdog against Roger Staubach's Cowboys in Super Bowl 6, but Bob Greasy's miserable play meant they had no chance whatsoever from the get-go. He also lost 29 yards on a careless sack from Bob Lilly in the first quarter. That set the tone for Dallas, who danced to a 24-3 victory to win the franchise's first ever Super Bowl. Minnesota Vikings, Gary Anderson. It remains the most painful moment in Minnesota sports lore. Kicker Gary Anderson, perfect all season, needed to make one last field goal to ice the 1998 NFC Championship game and send the 15-win Vikings to Super Bowl 33. Anderson missed. The Falcons went down to tie it up before eventually winning in overtime. Fast forward a quarter-century later, and the Vikings still haven't recovered at all from Anderson's imperfect season. New England Patriots, Wes Welker. The Patriots were leading the New York Giants 17-15 in Super Bowl 46 with 4 minutes to go. New York had just 1 timeout left, so 1 or 2 more first downs would have iced the game for Tom Brady and company. Brady spotted wide-open Welker for a gimme first down near the Giants' 20, but he dropped it. New England had to punt, and Eli Manning did his usual thing of making the Patriots his daddy.
I'm Eli Manning. I'm nice. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Sight! I beat him twice! Hold me back! Hold me back!
New Orleans Saints, Marcus Williams. Breeze would have beat Foles in that shootout. New York Giants, Kerry Collins. Collins had to be near perfect for the Giants to have a chance against Ray Lewis and the historically good Ravens defense in 2000. Newsflash, 4 interceptions, including a pick-6 to Dwayne Starks, 4 sacks and 0 touchdowns was not gonna do it. The Giants were crushed 34-7 by the Ravens in the big dance. New York Jets, Jay Feely. The veteran kicker missed a 44-yard field goal that would have opened the scoring in the 2009 AFC title game against the Colts. Early in third, he missed another 52-yarder that would have put Gangrene up by 7. After Feely's second miss, the Colts put up 17 unanswered second-half points to win the AFC Championship. A rough loss for the Jets. Philadelphia Eagles, Ron Jaworski. The Eagles entered Super Bowl 15 against the Oakland Raiders as a 3-point favorite. Unfortunately, they stood no chance of beating the star-studded Raiders because of Ron Jaworski's all-time choke job. Jaws threw 3 interceptions, lost a fumble, and completed less than half his pass attempts in a 27-10 blowout loss. Pittsburgh Steelers, Richard Mendenhall. The Steelers were in position to take the lead against the Packers for the first time in Super Bowl 45 early in the fourth quarter. On a 2nd and 2 play in Packers territory, Richard Mendenhall took the handoff and got absolutely blasted by Clay Matthews, who forced the game-changing recovery. Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown to Greg Jennings to put Green Bay up by 2 scores, and they would hold on for a 6-point victory. San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo threw 2 awful interceptions in the 49ers' heartbreaking 31-20 loss to the Chiefs. On top of that, he overthrew a wide-open Emmanuel Sanders for a go-ahead touchdown with 1.5 minutes to go. The Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. All Wilson had to do was throw it a few inches lower, and the Seahawks would have still repeated as Super Bowl champions. But of course, he just had to throw it right into the waiting arms of Butler to destroy a potential Seahawks dynasty. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Sean King. Blame the questionable Bert Emanuel rule and call all you want, but King's horrendous play was the real reason that the Bucs lost to the Rams in the '99 NFC title game. King went 13-29 for 163 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 picks. Tennessee Titans, Bernard Walker. The Titans had all the momentum with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. The Rams had the ball, but the Titans were rolling with 16 unanswered second-half points to erase a 16-point deficit. That momentum immediately crashed down, however, when Walker was a bit too early on Isaac Bruce's deep route and game-winning 73-yard reception. Washington Commanders, Billy Kilmer. Kilmer's blow-up in Super Bowl VII allowed the 72 Dolphins to complete the perfect season. Washington's QB essentially no-showed the game by going 14-28 for 104 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks in a 14-7 loss, basically handing the Dolphins the perfect ending to a perfect season on a silver platter. But which other players are entirely responsible for preventing their team from winning a Super Bowl? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.